Hello, team. Today, I have the pleasure of interviewing one of the greatest people I know. He's a great leader, soldier, and father. Sergeant First Class Wayne Jones.
Uh, Thank you, son, and I appreciate that great introduction. Uh, it's a pleasure being here with active duty soldiers that leading the way as far as communications, and I'm proud of what you guys are doing and taking the mantle and taking it forward into the 21st century. And I hope that you guys I can give some information that can connect you guys to the past, and so you can bring it into the future.
Thank you for being with us today, Sergeant Jones. So, today we're going to talk a little bit about your military experience. So, what type of experience do you have in the military?
Well, I was fortunate enough to be a radio operator with the Third Brigade Rockasans out of 101st, and I was given the task of providing communications for my lieutenant colonel, and the apparatus that I used were ERC 101. Oh man, I'm sorry, the MISKI 20, the PSE 3. I started off with that one to provide communications during that time. And during Desert Storm, we had man packs as in PSC 5s. And I guess they was starting to introduce those. And then just recently, before I retired in 2004, we had PSC 7s and also what do you call it, PRC 117s, tactical satellites. So that helped bring the data part into the arena for us. So uh, those were the devices that we used for man packs. But as far as our network capability, we actually use ANTRC 93, which is a single channel tactical satellite. And then we had a ANTSC 85, which allow you to bring in multiple bands, channels, so you can support up to 3 to maybe 4 switches at one time.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and get into some of the questions. What SATCOM equipment did you use while you were in the military, specifically like during the Afghanistan and Desert Storm time period?
Yes, I can. The TSC 93 was basically used for those long range hauls for small extension nodes or one channel between our major nodes, our switching shelters. And then as far as our ANTSC 85 Bravos, they had the capability of bringing in uh, uh, a total of 3 to maybe 4 communication links into one uplink, so that we can route those links to different locations. And it gave us the capability to have connections between our switching shelter and 3 other locations, no matter where they're located in the world, via satellite.
Can you elaborate on the capabilities of the AN 93 and also the 85?
Some of the biggest threats that we encompassed when we was out there was natural items like thunderstorms, uh, uh, sunspots, the weather, also mountains. Are you talking about the look angle for satellites going from 90 degrees straight up to 10 degrees, we shoot at the horizon. And you have to take in consideration on where you set up your communication shelter, especially if you're near cliffs or hills or uh, your line of sight to get to your uplink or your satellite location. Of course, when you're shooting straight up, you're not gonna have that much interference, but you know it can be kind of hard to do sometimes when you have torrential rainfall, and you may lose communications once in a while. But besides enemy, besides the rain, the enemy electronic countermeasures that they take against us also can affect those communication shelters. So we have to make sure that we have all our communication devices operating at top capacity.
What were some of the biggest threats that you encountered with your communication with satellites while you were out there?
Well, the type of equipment that we use were multiple types. We went through a transition time frame, like from one item to another. But the first one that I noticed was the KW7. And the KW7 is an ancient workhorse that used the pin block in it so that you mix them up so that the distant end will have the same settings. And it worked very nice, but sometimes those monsters just don't want to work sometimes. But it could be some kind of splicing wire or something. But I'm glad that we transitioned to the KG84. The KG84 introduced the electronic encryption for us. And instead of having something physical like the KW7 that with the wires got to be crossed. So the KG84 was a good strong equipment that can encrypt our links so that we don't have to worry about anything additional besides that. Right? So it encrypted our radio link from one point to the other. And they also had what you call KIVs, the KIV7 that was introduced later that helped create the security between our shelter switches that helped us get, encryption point to point.
And what type of equipment did you use to encrypt the transmission signals from the satellite?
Well, the advice I would give to current and future signal soldiers is to know their equipment inside and out and know their people also, okay? Know their capabilities and deploy it to the maximum, all right? Because sometimes you're not gonna have a piece of equipment that's operating properly, and you have to know that equipment and what's going on with it. Why that electricity is not going to it, or why that signal is not coming out there correctly, and where along the signal path is going wrong. So not only do you have to know your equipment inside and out, I advise you to know something about the communication shelters that you are communicating with so that you can talk intelligently. And it also helps build you as a signal soldier and as a comrade in arms whenever needed.
Well, Sergeant Jones, thank you for your time today and all your advice that you've given to the future signaleers. Trust me, the Army's in good hands.